Tell me the truth. How much money have you spent on finding the perfect avocado? If you're anything like me, you must have spent a small fortune trying to find the best Haas avocados because you saw a recipe on Instagram and you absolutely had to try it out because avocados are the latest superfoods. We live in an age where everything is so readily available, and yet what seems to elude us is common sense because we keep falling for the myth of the superfood. In this episode of the FITTR Podcast, we are going to try and answer the age-old question. Do superfoods actually exist, or is it just marketing hype? Hey JC.
Hey, JD.
Avocados versus blueberries. What's your favorite superfood?
If somebody holds a knife on my to my throat and I have to really pick between both of them, I'd pick blueberries.
Blueberries? But let's say you had the choice to choose any one of them. No knife to your neck, no gun to your head. What would you have?
Still blueberries out of the two. Definitely not avocados.
What do you have against avocados? I mean, the whole world is saying avocados are the best.
I don't have anything against any food. The last thing I want on the planet is
more war.
Yeah, more war with fruits.
Right.
That can't speak. See, my primary purpose is to educate people and basically rationalize things, So I just have to explain to people that, hey, something that you know might not be true, or somebody is kind of making a fool out of you by saying certain things, right? So that's my thing. I don't have anything against anybody or any particular food or any approach.
What's really surprising is that I think till about maybe 6 years ago, nobody in India had heard of avocados. And now we are seeing it on toast, we are seeing it in everyone's recipes, everyone's chopping them up, mashing them up to make guacamole and everything. And there are actually forums that discuss how do you pick the best avocado, when it's not too ripe, when it's not too stale, so that you can make guacamole. I understand India needs to be upwardly mobile, but do you think we've taken this superfood craze a little too far?
I think we have. And the rationale is, it's fairly simple, right? We want everything quick and easy.
Yeah.
As we always have. It's not new. It's just that our lifestyles have devolved to an extent that now even the common sense is no longer common. So somebody comes along and say, hey, 21 days, paisa double. We'll immediately catch that scam because we've been conditioned to believe that paisa mehnat karke hi milta hai.
Correct.
I mean, obviously you have so many people on fantasy gaming platforms and all, but that's different. But smart people, they realize that, hey, you have to work hard to earn money. It's a process.
Go to school, go to college, get a degree, then earn
the
money.
very same people believe in the 21 days health double magic. That's why they go on these retreats, detoxes, buy these superfoods, all this nonsense and fads in the name of like quickly fixing their health.
Right. What's the weirdest superfood you've ever seen?
Weirdest superfood?
Weirdest.
Avocado has to be it.
Have you actually eaten an avocado?
Of course I have.
And what's on a scale of 1 to 10, what did you think of the taste?
I've had avocado as a part of the Mexican meal because, when you're eating let's say a burrito bowl or especially in the US, there's an entire this Mexican chain called Chipotle. Yeah. Right. So there you only get Mexican food. So everything comes with a side dish of guacamole and, like you have avocado, like you said, on everything. So even you have avocado toast and everything. I had all of those. I'm not very fond of the taste. It's not too bad. Of course, they don't just serve you avocado. It goes through layers of processing, which kind of makes it palatable. Otherwise, like raw avocado is, like it tastes horrible.
You wouldn't have it.
I wouldn't. Yeah. But the way it has been marketed, it blows my mind. Like, it's not even a food on my worst day I would consider eating. And suddenly everybody is like going crazy about it. It's crazy. Like, how can something, I wouldn't say shit, but there's so many better options. Like, even a tomato tastes better than avocado.
Right.
And yet this motherfucking fruit has managed to kind of, become part of everybody's daily cuisine.
It's now being grown in India, down south.
Yeah,
there are entire plantations that have been dedicated to avocados.
Yes, they do.
This is ridiculous.
We were importing way too many avocados. Yeah,
I guess it became cheaper to grow our own.
Yeah.
That's the kind of demand we're looking at. But I think what you said correctly, some time back is right. We are always looking for these quick fixes.
Yeah.
We don't want to follow through on a process. If someone tells us, okay, you can eat this and you lose weight, eat this and you're going to put on tons and tons of muscle very fast, we want to try that out.
Yeah.
Yeah. But so it comes down to a very basic question. Does such a thing as a superfood exist, or are we just completely besotted with their marketing, or are we just completely...
Let me ask you a question. When you think about a Superman, what comes to your mind?
Superman, right?
Like I'm fit, right? So is Arnold Schwarzenegger. So is probably Bruce Lee. So was probably Bruce Lee and even Ronaldo. But we are not superhumans. We are like physically fit individuals. But when we talk about superhumans, what comes to your mind?
Something out of the ordinary, something that a normal human being can't do.
Yeah, like
so
shoot lasers
invincibility,
out of your eyes.
you're invincible.
You're like so strong, you can punch your way through a mountain.
Right.
You can fly.
You can fly.
Something which is not possible within the confines of this.
Basically,
the law,
they defy the laws of physics.
They defy the laws of physics. They defy. Yes. So something of that magnitude, that order comes to your mind when you use the word super.
Right.
Right. Unfortunately, when you look at any sort of superfoods, there's nothing in them that can be considered super. They are basically just ordinary foods which have macros and micros. Some have more macros, some have more micros, but that's about it. There's no reason for any food to become superfood. This word itself is a marketing gimmick. And in Europe, the European Food Association, just like we have FSSAI and we have RDA,
right?
FDA. In Europe, they don't allow the use of words like superfoods to be marketed or labeled, because that's like duping the customer. When you say it's a superfood, explain what it means. So,
what are the actual benefits? Tangible benefits? Kya hai?
Tangible benefits. Unfortunately, there's no regulation around using these, funky words in the Indian market. I mean, I believe that the government is kind of, taking some cognizance of this nuisance around the words like immunity boosters, testosterone boosters, and like superfoods.
Right.
And I believe there is some activism around it, but it's not at a very, at a ground level. Because people use this word way too casually. Like, this is a superfood, eat this, antioxidant benefit. Which antioxidant? And in what quantities? Today, we use the words like antioxidants and what's that? Free radical scavenger?
They what do? They mop up the free radicals.
Yeah, so free radical scavengers, we use antioxidants, then we have polyphenols. We use these words without understanding a word of what it means. And we just label them and say, hey, this food is good because it has antioxidants.
I have to tell you something very strange. My aunt recently was in the hospital because of, she needed heart surgery. So we, got in touch with the nutritionist who's giving us a diet chart and everything. And every single day, this person sends us a PDF on WhatsApp about you should be eating this superfood. And kya hota hai superfood? Lauki, blueberries, oranges. And then the list of things that, the benefits that it's going to do this and it's going to do that for you. I just find it odd that, here you are advising a person with a heart condition to eat all these things because they are superfoods. But isn't that kind of bad marketing where you're trying to raise somebody's hopes?
I mean, raising hopes is not bad as long as you're doing it.
But false claims, what I meant is
intent has to be there. But of course, when it comes to intentionally making a fool out of the people, then it's not correct.
But you're also playing with their health. You're also telling them that they should be eating
we
certain
do tell
things.
Children that eat vegetables or spinach as a superfood. We
Popeye,
grew up watching Popeye, and that was the right thing to do because, children want to become super. They are not confined by the boundaries of, our imagination or our physical strength, because when they're kids, and everything about kids is basically hope and dreams and, limitless potential. So there's a way, there's a time, there's a place. But he can't just market something as superfood and tell people that eat this because this is a superfood. You can't tell people that avocado is a superfood. It has good fats in it, or it has antioxidants, and that is crap. That is horrible. That is basically you making a fool out of the public. There's nothing amazing in avocados. You know how the whole history of avocados, right? We covered this in one of the previous podcast sessions. The entire avocados is basically this name itself is licensed by the Haas Avocado Society, and they monitor the in and out of every single avocado that gets sold out throughout the world. 80% of all Haas avocados, they come under the Haas Avocado group.
Right.
It's a very deliberate marketing. I wouldn't call it a scam, but it's a deliberate marketing scheme. It's an entire society built in, right? The Haas Avocado Society, and they basically fund these elaborate campaigns with the use of celebrities and everybody. Once the celebrities start endorsing it, the common person doesn't know much. Right? If your favorite celebrities start eating it, you start eating it thinking, hey, look, my favorite celebrity is eating it, must be true. You do that. And it just become part of that elaborate con. But there's nothing amazing about avocados.
Closer home, I actually wanted to ask you about another superfood, and this time, I mean...
Can we stop using the word superfood? There's no superfoods.
I know, but like millets, for instance, now India has even got a budgetary provision saying that we want to become a hub for the production of millets and everything. Millets are good.
They're good for the soil. They're good for the soil. They're good for the economy. They're good for the GDP.
Yeah.
We export a lot of millets.
But again, the same conversation has started going on around
millets. That shouldn't have happened. In fact, I also did a seminar on the topic in association with they asked me to mention that millets are superfood. I said, no, I can't do that. Like there has to be a line which needs to be drawn. Millets are not amazing. Millets are good.
I mean, they're not bad, but they're not better than anything.
They're not better than, let's say, your
regular rice,
regular legumes or anything. You can have them as a part of your healthy diet if you care about your country, because millets don't need to be imported. Every country wants to reduce the import burden and want to improve its exports, right? That brings in more capital home, improves the GDP, improves the lives of its nationals, right? And obviously, sometimes people use extreme measures to educate people. The way they do it in advertisement, but some people are fine with the idea. I'm not fine with the idea. So if the government wants to say millets are superfoods, I get it why they are saying that, because they are probably trying to remove that blinder from people's eyes when they are constantly.
Maybe there's also a stigma that millets are poor people's foods.
So they want to remove the stigma. So the government is doing that. But if you ask me, hey JC, can you call millet superfood? I will not call millet superfood. They are good foods. They're good for the soil. They're locally grown. Obviously less processed. Probably chances of non-GMO. And these are local varieties, right? So we don't have to import these seeds compared to, let's say, other foods that we grow.
Right.
So very good, sustainable, good for the soil, good for the economy, everybody's budget, a decent amount of protein like every other cereal, but not superfoods.
Got it. Superfoods is one part of the story. Another term I keep hearing all the time is negative calorie foods. There are certain foods where if you eat them, for some reason, they create a negative calorie, whatever. I don't even know how to describe this. They will help you lose weight. Essentially, that's the claim that is being made.
Right.
Does such a thing exist? Negative calorie foods?
There's no such thing as a negative calorie food because that defies the laws of universe, right?
Like even water is only 0 calories. It's not
negative calorie. Right. So typically there are foods that have very less calorie, and the reason they have very less calorie is because they don't have carbs, protein or fat. They probably have some amount of fiber, and largely they have water. Right. So if you eat fibrous plants, they are typically 0 calories, right? Or let's say very less calories. When you eat them, your body is going to expend certain amount of calories to burn them, right?
So you're talking about the thermic effect of...
Yes. So the TEF. Now, so celery is supposed to have like 18 calories or something in 100 calories. If you chew a lot of celery, right, there's a good chance that you're burning more calories while eating celery.
Than the actual calories.
Than the actual calories in the celery. But that does not make celery a negative energy food. It's just that it has less calories. And because you're chewing, you're burning some calories. See, in an hour, you burn between 46 to 53 calories just by sitting. So even if you were to chew celery for 15 minutes, you're burning like 18-20 calories anyways,
Correct.
right? So it's because your body is anyways burning calories, and now you're chewing celery, which is like maybe slightly
Will you
more
burn more
added.
calories if you chew celery standing up?
Probably, but that does not make the food a negative calorie food.
Right.
It's just low calorie food, and that's about it. Low calorie, 0 calorie, not negative calorie.
Right.
Okay.
Now that we've opened the can of worms and spoken about superfoods and negative calorie foods, I have to ask you about the claims that are made around supplements. I mean, if you're talking of superfoods, supplements somehow, seem to be the thing that everyone talks about because they're engineered in a lab and they've been, programmed to, really enter your body and do miraculous things for you. Where do you again draw the line? Let's say people are going to take supplements, whether it's a multivitamin or whether it's creatine or whether it's whey protein. We know some of them work, some of them obviously don't, or I would say many of them actually don't. How do you assess that? You're a common man. What are the things you look for in a supplement before you say, okay, this is something worth spending money on and this is absolute crap?
There's almost 65,000 different kinds of supplements in the market. About 28,000 active supplements.
Okay.
So supplements have come and gone. 25,000 still active supplement lines. And out of that, maybe a handful actually are useful. So there's the IOC, which is the International Olympic Committee, right? And that releases a list of supplements which are helpful for sports athletes. And there's maybe a mention of 15 odd supplements, out of which maybe half of the supplements are conditional. So if I have to tell you from personal experience and from the literature that's out there, whey protein, creatine, then you have L-arginine, then you have certain vitamins and minerals, you have caffeine, right? Bearing these, most of the supplements don't do anything for you. So whether you're talking about, these fat burners, testosterone boosters, or
mass gainers.
Mass gainers is basically extra calories. So you might actually gain mass, not muscle, just you might actually gain weight, right? So all of these supplements are basically like useless for most of the people. 99% of the people don't need supplements, which is kind of the opposite today. Like everybody is popping pills thinking, and this primarily stems from the fact that, hey, look, I'm going to work hard to earn my money, but I don't want to do anything for my health. So let me pop a pill.
Let me take a shortcut.
Without realizing, if it doesn't work for your financial health, how can it work for your physical health?
Right.
Can it work for your relationships? Can it work for your social health? No. But somehow people get fooled into believing that this can somehow work. Like, think of a magical potion. Like, hey, drink this supplement that will make you smart and you'll make millions of dollars tomorrow.
Yeah.
Too good to be true, right? The same is with health supplements.
So where does this myth busting begin? It obviously starts with education, but most people don't maybe have access to information, the right information. Where would you point them? In what direction would you point them?
First, recognize the importance of fundamentals. If you cannot achieve your wealth quickly, you cannot achieve your health quickly. The minute you remove the notion that I can lose weight quickly, I can get fit quickly, I can get rid of my all issues quickly, or I can detox my body after years of abuse quickly in a 2-week camp somewhere, that's not going to take you very far. Then you have to understand the fundamentals. Fundamentals means basic stuff. See, getting physically fit is not at all difficult. It's not complex. I wouldn't call it not difficult. It's not complex. It's very simple. Simple is not easy because you have to repeat the fundamentals over and over again.
Right.
See, how does one make money? He finds something he's passionate about or goes to a job. But he goes to a job one day, but after 30 days when he gets a salary, he's not like, hey, I've got money, now I'll quit. No. He has to work at that job for maybe 10 years, 20 years, 30 years to make a living for himself.
Right.
So over and over and over again, when you repeat the same stuff, your efficiency goes up and your results compound over time. In a similar manner, if you want to get healthy, just eat right. And when I say eat right, take adequate amount of protein, take sufficient amount of calories, but not too many. Avoid too much of junk. Maybe have something like maybe once in a week or something, but not too much. Drink plenty of water, sleep 7 to 8 hours, exercise 45 minutes at least 4 times in a week, which is a good resistance training and HIIT style. And that's it. You do this, it becomes a part of your lifestyle. You keep repeating it for year after year after year. You become fit, you become healthy, and you lead a good life. The problem is that people think this does not work because They're constantly looking for shortcuts. They're constantly being told there is a shortcut that exists by companies. And they get fooled by this narrative. Because if the company comes out and says, hey, immunity booster. And we are so smart, or we've been conditioned to catch up these, get quick rich
gimmicks or whatever.
Money schemes. But when it comes to these health schemes, people don't understand. They keep falling for the same shit over and over again. Like if somebody comes and tells you, hey, give me 10 rupees, I'll give you 100, you'll know that's a scam. But here, when somebody markets you a testosterone booster, which is like, hey, your testosterone levels are, let's say, 300 ng per deciliter, suddenly it'll boost to 800. How in the world?
That's probably because people don't understand how it works. If they understood it, they wouldn't fall for these schemes.
Yeah.
So education, like you said,
education is extremely important. It's very simple to get fit. It's very simple to repeat the basics. Over a period of time, just have to maintain it with consistency and believe that this is the right thing to do. Everybody knows this, that they have to eat right, they have to sleep enough, they have to move more. Everybody knows this. It's just that they still keep looking for something or the other. These gamblers and people who have this habit of playing these fantasy games.
Right.
Yeah, they're like, they know they have to work hard in their day jobs to get rich or get wealthy, but they still keep downloading these fantasy apps. And they still keep going to casinos, and every once in a while
like
they make
people who buy lottery tickets.
Yes, lottery tickets.
एक बार लग जाए. Maybe I'm special. Maybe this will work.
Yeah. And it never works actually, because the chances of you winning a lottery is 1 in 900 million something. So it's just one fool's gold, and everybody's a fool.
So what are some parting words that you like to tell people? I know that there will still be people who will look for quick fixes, who will still want to buy superfoods. But for anybody who is listening, one word of advice that will set them off on the right path.
Quick is a scam. Anything that's going to come quickly is also going to go away quickly. Do not waste your time and money on anything which is quick. Nobody likes anything quick. So I don't know, like, how can somebody believe that, to earn money you have to work hard, but to earn your health, you can achieve it quickly? It doesn't work. Like, in what world would it work? Never works.
So make the effort, educate yourself.
Make the effort, educate yourself, or you are constantly inviting more trouble for you in the future.
Right.
And then you'll just end up with lots of regrets, because we have 100 years. First 50 years you'd probably not notice. The next 50 years is going to F you up big time. And then basically there's nothing you can do, right? Because what can you do? You're old and now you're dusted and you're lying in hospital bed, not enough money to pay the bills. Dependent on your kids, who probably are tired of you and your sickness, right? So not only do you become a burden for yourself, you become a burden for everybody surrounding you. So it's a very bad situation. I see more and more people getting into it, and I don't want to talk about it, but look, I'm there at that level where I keep getting these kind of information, emails, helping requests from a lot of people. And no matter how much you want to help, you just can't.
Right. So always play the long game, whether it's money, whether it's life, whether it's your health.
And relationships. Always play the long game.
JC, thanks so much for talking to us.
Thank you.
And I hope you've inspired people to stop taking shortcuts and actually put in the effort.
Have I?
I hope so. I think you have, because you're a living testament for that anyway. But I think people need to hear it every once in a while to make the right choice.
Sure. Let's hope so, man.
Yep. And that was it for this episode of the FITTR Podcast. We'll be back next week to bust more myths, to get some more inspiration, and to get fitter and healthier. See you then.